Hey everyone, on this episode of Talent You Should Know, presented to you by 9 to 5 Grind, I've decided to do something a little different and have someone interview me. This is my sixth episode, and I thought, it only fitting that maybe we kind of dive a bit deeper into why I'm doing this, the thought process behind it, the things that I'm passionate about, and, where I hope to go with this. So I hope you enjoy. Bye.
Hello, Zach, CEO of 9 to 5 Grind Media.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I am Daytonia Gooden. We're going to have a great conversation today, and let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, number one, tell us about your 9 to 5 grind.
So 9 to 5 Grind Media is basically a company that focuses on what you really want to do with your life. And so it encompasses all of that. And the portion that I'm focusing on right now is Talent You Should Know, which basically covers not just artists and actors and that kind of stuff, but the teams behind them. So the managers and the PR reps and the hairstylists and the makeup artists and everyone that it takes to create, the brand that you see and that you love, for the people in the music videos and on the movie screen. So, people are passionate about a lot of things, and there's a lot of talent out there. So that's what this is all about.
Okay. So, tell everyone why 9 to 5 Grind Media is so important to you.
Well,
Okay.
so it's important to me because it basically represents following your passion and following, your dreams that maybe you thought either I'm too young or too old to do. Like, this is what that represents, that it's never too late.
What is Zach passionate about?
Ooh. No, seriously, I am just a fan at the end of the day. I'm a singer and a songwriter, so that's huge to me, just music as a whole. Listening to how people write, these lyrics over these amazing melodies. So that's what I'm passionate about, is writing music, writing poetry. I mean, I also love to cook, but that's, another note. But as
All
far as,
right.
yeah, yeah,
All
I take
right.
it to another place.
Talent you should know. So that sprang out from the 9 to 5 Grind Media. And, you've had conversations with Kevin Webb, more recently, Tiffany Simmons Esquire. So tell us about those conversations and why those conversations are so important. And these people are talent that we should know.
Um, so those conversations are important because those are all specific examples of people behind the scenes, right? That you might see, every so often in pictures here and there, but they're not, the artists that you're listening to. So I loved hearing, like, when Webb was talking about, creating a brand or rebranding an artist and what that all takes and what he sees versus what they might see and coming together. And as far as Tiffany, it was amazing with her because, a lot of times there are things that are missed in contracts that people don't think about. They just sign it really quickly, and
Yes.
I will say this, and it's going to sound funny. I watched America's Next Top Model years and years ago. And one scene, she was like, everyone, you have to sign this contract before you go into this room. And no one read the contract. And
Yes.
everyone just signed it. And they walked in the room. She said, never do that. She said, do you see that word, perpetuity? She said, that means forever.
Forever.
She said, so there is never, and that's when it kind of clicked to me, like, people aren't even paying attention to a lot of this stuff. They just need the bonus. So, that's kind of where those conversations went. And I really enjoyed them.
Yes. And so, like, these are the conversations that are important and contractual, obligations. And I remember once that Ray Charles was the first Black artist who owned his masters. And that was a conversation that he had with his mother. And she said, go ask for it. And that was simple yet very powerful. And it was a conversation that he had with his record labels. He said, I want to own my masters. And then you have an artist like Prince who had to change his name to a symbol just so he can get out of that contract, because he didn't own his masters. And now you have, excuse me?
Taylor Swift as well. Now
yes.
she has to re-record all of her music in order to own it.
Yes. And yes, these are conversations that artists need to have, because you are basically, as Prince wrote, a slave to the record company if you don't own your masters, and you are a brand within yourself. So let's speak upon branding. Let's speak about Zag and her brand. What about that? What about the CEO and the content creator of 9 to 5 Grind?
So that was a good question. That's actually a really good question. I was super intentional when I restarted 9 to 5. I want to say restarted because initially a couple of years ago, I'd started it and with a partner, and we were kind of focused on local talent, right? And then when I decided to really get back into the podcast again, I said, what do I really want to do? What is the ultimate goal? And my ultimate goal is a company that not just represents Talent You Should Know as a podcast and, with the behind the scenes conversations with industry influencers, but it's also, I'm looking at doing a poetry book and, keeping that along the lines. I'm doing songwriting. I'm going to get back into that, and production as well. So that's the intent behind 9 to 5 Grind Media as a whole. Now, Talent You Should Know is for the people who are or getting into the industry that might not really think about these things. And also, when I was talking to Mr. Hankey, we touched on the fact that people always think that they need to be artists. And there's so many other careers that you could be good at in the music industry. And I want to shed a light on that because, you might want to be an artist, but, low key, you're a really great, makeup artist. And that's what you really want to do. But you're just trying to get into the music industry game. And it's like, no, guess what? You can do that and build an entire brand and build off of that with, collaborations with, Anastasia and that kind of stuff. So I really want to make sure that people understand all the avenues that they have access to.
Yes. Just one of the young ladies who was a great stylist back in the 90s, dressing the hip hop artists from Boyz II Men and let's say Silk. It went from the singers who look like hip hop artists like Jodeci, and then, she went on and dressed Beyonce in that MCM one piece, that bodysuit for the video with her and Jay-Z. So it does go, like you said, beyond just being an artist. It's like what you're good at, know. And so Zag is good at a lot of things. So you have your iron and a lot of fires. And so being that brand, being that CEO of 9 to 5 Grind Media, what do you hope to accomplish with your brand?
What I hope to accomplish is, like I said before, just knowledge. Honestly, it's knowledge. Be aware, be intelligent and strategic about your decisions. And if there's something you might have a question on, I want you to have a resource like this to say, oh, wait, I think, in that episode, there's this. Maybe I can reach out to Zag or someone on her team and ask her about X, Y, and Z. At the end of it all, I want to definitely be a resource for people.
Okay. So we know music is the universal language, like math. It's one of the universal languages that hath charms to soothe this savage breath. So tell us about Zag's musical career. If people don't know, you are a fabulous singer. Like, we have been friends for over 20 years, and every birthday she calls me to sing happy birthday to me, and I keep it and I play it because she's a wonderful singer. So tell us why you're so passionate about spotlighting talent on 9 to 5 Grind Media.
I think, I grew up, um, in a time where, it's you go to school, you go to college, and you get a job, right? And that's because my parents grew up in the 50s and 60s. That's kind of what their mindset was. And I think it was, when I was 10 or 11, my father saw that I had a good voice and he asked me to record a tape, and I did, but it kind of didn't really go anywhere. But it also kind of gave me a little bit of confidence to kind of like start in choirs and that kind of stuff. But by myself, I have horrible stage fright. It's actually pretty insane. And so then I said, do I really want to be an artist or do I want to write? Like, I literally
Ah,
myself and I said, you know what? I love to write, and I don't mind singing on demos, but I don't want to be on stage. And,
right.
as I got older, life happened and it kind of paused for a second. And then I had another life-changing event and I said, it's not time to wait anymore. And so that's where I am right now. I'm doing this Talent You Should Know, and I'm also writing again and recording again.
That is awesome. So, what's the best or most memorable concert that you've attended?
The most memorable concert. Oh, I saw Stevie Wonder
Wow.
at Madison Square Garden. Oh, I
Yes.
think I was still living in New York at the time, and he had India Ari open up, and then yes, India Ari.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, we were dancing in the chairs. I don't think I sat down that whole time. And then he brought his wife out and his kid, and it was just one of the best concerts. No, the best concert I've ever been to. Absolutely.
Amazing. So tell us, who do you admire as a songwriter and why?
There are a couple of songwriters that I love. I love music. Soul Child. He's
Okay.
probably lyrically one of the best pens in the game. Um,
Mm,
there's Makiba, who has written for she's written for Mary J. Blige, she's written for Rihanna, she is so diverse, and everything that she makes is a hit. But it's not just the fact that she makes hits, it's actually her wordplay is just it's phenomenal. Like, I'm a huge, huge fan of hers.
okay. And speaking of Rihanna, you and I love Rihanna as an artist,
Yeah.
as a fashion icon, and as a business mogul. Rihanna has created, let's say, a super Fenty team,
Hmm.
right? Of great business people who support her creative process and her
Right.
business process. So these people around Rihanna create a checks and balances kind of system around her, and they don't just let her, let's say, do anything that she wants to do.
Right.
So she admires that, and she has them around her as a great support system. So who would be members of Zag's 9 to 5 Grind Media team?
I would definitely. And now, is this in real life or is this?
In real life. Let's say in real life, and then just put those members on your team. Who would
Will you?
Yeah.
um, you
Put
know,
it on my cape.
you are right. That's the only case, right?
You know it.
Right. Um, because you're really brilliant and you're really well spoken and you know shit. And I know that you will be observant behind the scenes and not let shit go down that's not supposed to go down. Um, there is a producer that I have that is raw to the fullest, and his beats somehow just work with me and work with my vocals so well. So I would definitely have him on my team. And then
What's his name?
His name is Yusef.
Okay.
Yusef. I would have there's Kevin Webb. Kevin Webb, you might not know.
Yes.
He's a friend of mine, and I trust his judgment wholeheartedly in this business. Wholeheartedly. Because the thing about him is he and I think a lot alike in that this is about building relationships, and this is about not just building them, but keeping relationships in this business. And he's such a genuine person that definitely I would have him as well.
All right. In closing, what else would you like people to know? What is the summary of Zag and 9 to 5 Grind Media talent you should know? Close us out and give us the final sentence and let us know the gist of it.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the arts. I am a fan of people who work hard for things that they are passionate about. And I am a fan of gaining as much knowledge as possible. And to be able to do that all in one package and not just learn things myself, but help other people at the same time with the same passions, that's all I can really ask for. And that's the intent behind everything that I do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, everyone. Knowledge is power. Get online, 9to5grindmedia.com. Talent you should know on YouTube. This is Daytonia Gooden, and we're signing off. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Zag.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.